Joined now on the phone by Yahoo Sports' Pete Thamel. And Pete, a crazy day. I mean, just to give an indication, you were with us on a show a matter of hours ago on Wednesday, and we were talking about kind of going forward here for DJ Durkin, and now later in the very same evening talking about the aftermath of DJ Durkin. What's your sense on everything that went down here over the last 28 hours or so at Maryland?
Well, I think, Dave, what happened here really was that common sense prevailed in one sense, and then public pressure and political pressure and student pressure prevailed in another sense. No one could argue reasonably that DJ Durkin was going to come back and be a successful head coach at the University of Maryland. He only had 2 years left on his contract, and the cloud that was going to hang over he and his tenure, both in recruiting student athletes and recruiting coaches and just pushing forward, was going to be too dark for him to survive for any extended period of time, which is one of the reasons why, the common sense reason why it's so stunning they brought him back, because he was going to fail. I mean, the only thing that would have got worse publicity than them bringing DJ Durkin back would have been extending his contract, considering the circumstances.
So how do you think the board misgauged this situation as dramatically as it did?
Well, the board chair did say he was drinking gin, Dave, so maybe that was one of the reasons. I say that in jest.
That was a mistimed attempt at humor on his part, no doubt.
Yes, it was certainly a mistimed attempt at humor, and in a bad place. And look, I don't know how they could have done that, but this reeked of political infighting. They clearly had a bone to pick with Wallace Lowe. Wallace Lowe ends up losing his job in this whole thing. He's stepping down in June. Wallace Lowe did not mention DJ Durkin's name in that debacle of a press conference the other day. And so one would have to think that ego has gotten in the way of common sense here. But I want to reiterate, there was no way DJ Durkin would have worked there in the long term. There certainly could have been some financial overtones to this. Maryland does not have a lot of money, and they are not going to get a full share of the Big Ten money until 2020, 2021, which is obviously 2 full seasons away. So because of that, eating the $5 million that Durkin's going to be owed in the buyout because they were not able to find cause to fire him certainly would have been a factor here. I mean, if they had found a reason to fire DJ Durkin for cause, they would have. But that didn't necessarily mean they shouldn't have let him go. They needed to see, Dave, the overriding factors here and just optics. That's what totally was missing, was any vision for optics.
Pete Thamel from Yahoo Sports. Pete, thanks for all your work on this and appreciate your insights here tonight.
Thanks, Dave.